Welcome to New Life Live with host and founder of New Life Ministries, Stephen Arterburn. New Life Live is dedicated to transforming lives one at a time, thanks to the giving hearts of you, our listeners. Our goal is to provide you with wisdom from God's Word to give you hope and help in life's hardest places. If you have a question you'd like to ask today, our phone lines are open. Call 1-800-229-3000. That number again is 1-800-229-3000. Now here's Steve.
Hi, welcome to New Life Live. So glad you're with us here on a Thursday. It is the day where on NRB Network we do air Life Recovery Today. By the way, I was mentioning the other day, once again, almost every month, Life Recovery Bible is in that top 10 best-selling Bibles, along with the Every Man's Bible. And the Every Man's Bible is a great gift for any father for Father's Day. And Life Recovery Bible, if you know somebody that's recovering, that is you just can't go wrong giving them a Bible that integrates their 12 steps with Scripture. Joining me today to integrate truth with the things that I say, Dr. Alice Benton and Chris Williams. Hi there, guys.
Hey, hi, folks.
Hey, good to be with you guys.
I want to put in a Bible plug, too, because a supernatural transaction takes place when we obediently engage with Scripture. And research is showing that it's protecting teenagers, it's protecting marriages and families from substance use, divorce, infidelity, anger, anxiety, depression. When we touch Scripture regularly, it truly does change us and changes our families.
Yeah, it does. And I was just talking about with Dave Thornton, who is our Chief Operating Officer, about the power of Scripture and the research that's been done. Just the more times you engage in Scripture, the better it's going to be. That's just what all the research shows. The more transformation, the more wisdom. And so we just really hope that you'll get into God's Word. I'm going to go right to the phones. I got a ton of phone calls lined up here. And I'm going to go to Mimi from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Sirius XM is where she hears us. Hi, Mimi. How are you today?
Hi. Good. I'm calling. My question, I kind of tried to really think about what I wanted to ask you guys. I'm in recovery. I got in recovery about almost 2 years. My husband quit drinking, but he is also an alcoholic. And my question today was, we're having a lot of issues come up that we didn't deal with because we both numbed our feelings, and a lot of fighting. He refuses to get in any type of recovery. He's untreated alcoholism. And my question is, if I separated from him, and I'm having a hard time dealing with boundaries and how to handle that. I wanted to know, is it unreasonable to separate while I sort these things out in my head? Because there's some things he's not willing to change, and I just don't know how to deal with it.
So he is not getting any kind of help at all?
No, none at all. He just quit. He just quit when I quit, and no, he's not getting any type of help at all.
Okay, and is he? Drinker. Okay, and he's not drinking now.
No, he's not drinking now, but he's not very pleasant to live with.
Yeah.
He's very angry, and he's a workaholic.
What happens if you take it away from the alcohol issue and say, look, here we are separated. Most people get separated, get a little marriage counseling to try to get back together. Are you willing to get some counseling with me? I mean, maybe that's a start of him getting some insight into that life could be better. Do you think he would show up for a marriage counseling session that might lead to the two of you getting back together?
Well, we have done that, and this is very new. I mean, it's only been like 3 days that we're separated. We tried to do counseling, and it just turned into a bitter fighting match.
Well, then you either went to the wrong counseling or counselor, or you weren't ready or whatever. But I'm talking about now that you are separated. Okay. I just wonder. Well, we'll talk more about it after this. You're listening to New Life Live.
I feel blessed to have had this opportunity for my needs to be met, connecting with other women who are fighting the same fight, hoping for healthy marriages and growing closer to the Lord on their journey.
My name is Shelly Martinkus, and I want to personally invite you to the Restore Workshop. If you have been affected by betrayal, it might be that your husband has been looking at pornography, it might be an emotional, physical affair. I would love for you to come join us.
I feel encouraged and hopeful that even in my struggle, I am enough.
You will leave with hope, with a community of sisters ready to support you, and you will also leave with tools to move you forward on this journey.
Through the sharing in our small group, I realize that I am not alone.
Please don't hesitate. Pick up the phone, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. I would love to see you there.
The Restore Workshop is coming to Dallas, Texas, June 25th through the 27th. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE to find out more. That's 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
We're back. Steve Arterburn here, and we are talking with Mimi, talking about how do we get the two of them, both of them alcoholics. He's a binge drinker, but he won't get recovery now. They're separated. She's trying to figure it all out. Alice, you have some insight here for this situation?
Mimi, I'm not surprised to hear that there seemed to be more fighting when you were in counseling. And oftentimes in therapy, it seems like things are getting worse for even a good long time before they get better. But what therapy often does is it reveals what's been simmering under the surface. And we have to be willing to stick with it long enough to be able to push past that season that usually happens in therapy to get to the healing on the other side. But it's like it pulls off the Band-Aid, it pulls off the scab that has been put on top of this problem that you folks have been dealing with. And I would add that it is biblical to choose separation if someone is continuing to sin against us and is unrepentant about it. Then the Bible does say we need space from that and we need to protect our hearts from it.
Yeah, because he is not a little. He is abusive. He's abusive with his language. He's abusive. He's controlling with our money. We built a business together, and he's very controlling with that. He feels that I need to answer to him, and I don't know.
Well,
it's
all of these things are things that people. It's what people it's what people do when they have an alcohol or drug problem and they stop, but they don't start recovery. Chris, I think you've got a different angle on this.
I have a little bit different angle. So it sounds like you both are really angry, and so he's had to live with an angry alcoholic for quite a while. And so the message I've been hearing is that, he's such a big problem. He's controlling, he's angry. Absolutely. I don't disagree with that because I don't know, but I trust you. I trust that what you're saying is absolutely right. But I want to change directions here. I want you to be able to go to your husband and say, hey, I want you to change so we can be married. I want you to say that, hey, being married to me must have been really tough. And I'm sure you're carrying a lot of frustration and anger, and I do want us to work, but I need to know how to change and get better for you so that we can work. Can we try getting back into counseling together? Because I want our marriage to be a good marriage.
Right, and that's what I have told him.
Okay, excellent.
That's my ultimate goal, is to be healthy, and I have done a lot of finger pointing, and I think because I thought maybe he would just follow right along with me to sobriety and to working a program, and he didn't. And I think that's where, as an alcoholic, I think I try to, control that situation with him, and he didn't take that very easily.
It's such a good thing that Chris brings up here is that two people that are hurting each other, you can't just say, well, we both hurt each other and now we're going to get better. You really have to, as the person now who wants to get up, you have to acknowledge what you did to the other person, even though they did it right back to you. I mean, it really is.
And I made that amendment to him.
Yeah.
I have done that, but I feel like these old issues are coming up because he has told me many a times I'm not willing to change.
Okay.
Because he's not drinking, so he's not willing to check what he said, but I'm willing to see what a counselor can get out of us and see maybe we can talk about it. I don't want to give up.
Right.
Sure.
So it has to be, you're talking about both of you needing to make some changes, you willing to make changes that he maybe doesn't even think you'd be willing to do, but you need a third party to help you with that. And I would just say to him, I've found a new therapist, and I'd like for us to help you do that. I found a new counselor to go to. I'm going to go to this person, but I'd rather it be us than just me. I'm going to go to work on me. It's separate from recovery or anything like that. I'm going to this person. I'm going to work on me, but I'd love it if we could work on us. That would be so much better. So, you're not saying if you don't come, I'm going to do this or whatever, but you're saying I'm going to work on me. Would love us to be working on us. Alice.
Include praise. The fact that he quit drinking with you is praiseworthy, and he probably needs to be built up by you in any genuine way that you can, and that may help lower his defenses and influence him to join you in therapy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's never easy, and every time somebody's got a really big problem, then it doesn't mean that we get off the hook. It means we may have to do double time working on ourselves and working with that person with the problem. I'm going to send you a copy of Take Your Life Back. I hope that's going to be helpful. I'm going to send you a Life Recovery Bible also.
And if I can mention just one more thing that I think would be transformative, Mimi, for you and your husband, is July 23rd to the 25th. So in just a month and a half away in Washington, D.C., not far from you guys whatsoever, is Intimacy in Marriage.
Yeah.
If you guys can give it 48 hours, 48 hours of commitment and engagement, I believe that new doors will open for you in your marriage in ways that you probably never expected and maybe even never dreamed of.
Well, one thing you can say, if you would give me 24 hours, I will, no matter what happens, I will move back together for a while and see how it goes. Now, I would never say that under any other circumstance if I didn't see almost every person that comes, it helps that marriage. It gets people that hate each other back together. And so you just need to get him there and then let the experience, the powerful experience, do its work there. But I would really invite him to that. Very good idea there, Chris. 1-800-NEW-LIFE if you want to find out about that. Let's go to Karen, Emmaus, Pennsylvania. Hey, Karen, how are you?
Good. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. Well, how could we help?
I have a 30-year-old son.
30-year-old son?
I have a 30-year-old son. Yep, he's dating a girl for 3 years who's been diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. She's physically, mentally, and emotionally abusive to him, including biting chunks out of his body. There's multiple police contacts. They were living together for a while, but she was evicted due to a PFA, but he keeps going back. He accepts her to come for visits. They go on dates. And I've tried to have him think about why do you stay, or what would you say to a friend who was dating a gal like this?
What does he tell you is his reason when you ask him that?
He's very evasive. I don't know that he knows.
Mm-hmm.
I try to pin him down, and I get it's kind of roundabout. There's no.
Karen, what was the
every family?
Karen, what was the chaos he experienced as a child?
What was the what?
The chaos that he experienced as a child.
I don't know of any. He developed an addiction in his late teen years into his early 20s with opiates.
And is he still active?
With depression.
Is he still active in his addiction?
No, thank God he is relieved for 7 years and 6 years, and he actually got a job that requires drug testing regularly.
So Karen,
So he would not go back.
So Karen, you know how deeply the hooks got in with his opiates? Okay, I want you to think about that for a moment. It's a strong addiction, right? He found a new addiction. That's all this woman is a new addiction. I'll bet you it repeats the same exact pattern. I hate this, I can't stand it, and I can't live without it, all at the same time. He's actually, and this is the irony. This is the irony, is that addiction itself creates a borderline process. I hate it and I can't live without it. And that's what she's doing to him, but ironically, that's also what he's doing to her. And so making her the problem, making this girl the problem, is the wrong focus. He's the
I don't believe she is the problem. I'm more concerned about why he's accepting of this.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a question for you. Would he talk to us on this program by any chance? Do you think he would?
I think so.
Because I just would talk with him man to man about what he's doing. Chris can talk to him about why he's doing it, and Alice can talk to him about the options. But I'd just like to talk to him about, the way this is going, the way it's headed, and that he's still got a choice. But it's a tough one. Now, where does he live? Does he live with you still?
No, he has his own house.
Okay, all right. Well, let's see if we can't get him on this program next week, maybe Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. See if he would talk with us. I'd love to talk with him and just get his perspective and try to give him some kind of options, thoughts, insights, something like that.
Steve, I think it's really important.
I never knew men were abused like this.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I got to tell. Well, I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, I've had experience with borderline personality disorder, and I want to help him avoid what that experience can be like. Chris?
Can I just ask one question?
Go for it.
We've kind of drawn a boundary that we don't want to be around her because she's kind of made legal threats to us over stuff she makes up, and we don't want her in our home because for Easter we invited him over. He said, "Can she come?" I said, "Absolutely not." And I don't want to be a divider.
No,
by the
that's.
same token, I don't want to co-sign this.
No, let me cut to the chase on that. Having boundaries around a dangerous person is critically important. It is the most godly thing that you can do, and because she is dangerous, and you can't invite harm and expect to not be harmed, especially if she's threatened legal action. So this is not a safe person.
Yes, she has.
Yeah.
And I think one of the big problems is that you hear of something bizarre and you say, well, fortunately, she'd never do that. But a true borderline personality disorder, you cannot predict what they might do. And there is nothing negative about not wanting her in your home. Literally, she could plan to get hurt in your home and sue you. I mean, that is not a bizarre scenario. It's happened before. But let's see if we can't get him with us. I will send you How We Love. It's all about this attachment and the difficulties there. Alice, do you have a final word you wanted to say here?
Well, when talking hasn't worked and we haven't been able to convince a family member of the harm of their situation, it ends up being a waste of our breath. But when, Karen, you see that he might have a willingness to talk to professionals, you capitalize on that and try to be a channel of that for him. So offering to set him up with a call with us, offering to support him in getting his own therapy, capitalize on that willingness of his.
And, you just tell him you called us because you didn't know if you were handling this right with him. And they're fascinated with you. They want to talk with you and really were interested in our situation. So maybe they could help us in some way. I hope that we would be able to do that.
Well,
all right, I'll send you How We Love. Yes, Chris?
I just wanted to say there's a lot of people struggling out there being in abusive relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that oftentimes drives it at a heart level is that you believe that this is as good as it gets. That it can't be better. There's not something better for you. It's a very poverty way to look at love. And so I just want to encourage those people, like, if you're convinced that you're in a harmful situation and it's as good as it gets, that's not from God. That is not true. It can and will get better. You just got to make tough choices.
Yeah. As I've said, last week, a sick bird in the hand is not better than two birds that possibly might land on your shoulder. Whatever. Anyway, we want to help you. 1-800-229-3000 for this particular program. 1-800-NEW-LIFE. If you want to talk to somebody that can connect you with the resource that you need. Every Man's Battle, 2 days from now. We've got the Marriage Intensive coming up. Restore for any of you women that have been hurt. Emotional Freedom in August.
After I found the pornography on the internet, I said, you either get help or I have to leave this household.
Every day, thousands of women discover their husband is struggling with sexual integrity. And since shelter-in-place orders have gone into effect, traffic to porn sites has skyrocketed. New Life's Every Man's Battle workshop can help.
I believed that I could do it on my own. I just believed if I tried hard enough and pulled myself up hard enough by my bootstraps, I could do it. It was a battle that I'd had all my life. I had to get help.
The Every Man's Battle workshop can be a trip to the sexual addiction emergency room. During this time of social distancing, the Every Man's Battle workshop will be held online May 1st. Find sexual integrity, accountability, and connection. Register now to reserve a place at the Every Man's Battle online workshop. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
The single most helpful thing was to realize that I wasn't the weirdest guy on the planet.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. 1-800-NEWLIFE.
Hi, this is Steve Arterburn, and for 30 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
Your ministry has saved my life.
If you struggle with emotional hurt, family or marriage problems, the pit of depression, or the pain of addictions, we can help.
I'm down 100 pounds now from what I was.
You guys are awesome. You're a blessing to America.
Our treatment programs provide clinically appropriate solutions from licensed professionals, all in the biblical framework.
I have had problems with alcohol. I think God has ordained this place to be His.
You don't have to be a prisoner of your pain. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
She tells me that I'm a new man, and I feel like a new man.
It worked for me, and it can work for them too.
This time it is different.
If you're ready to take the first step toward genuine spiritual and emotional healing, please call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. God can open the door to a better tomorrow right now. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433.
We'd love to hear from you. If you have a question or a comment, call toll-free 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
We are back. Steve Arterburn here with Alice Benton and Chris Williams. Let's go to the phones. By the way, gift of any amount. I'll send you the brand new book. Dave Stoop and I put this together, the last one, The Soul of a Hero. How about we go over here and talk with April, Sacramento. KFIA is the station. April, how are you today, and how could we help?
I'm doing good. So I am in a engaged relationship and have been for some time.
How long have you been engaged?
Well, longer than Steve would think is good.
Okay, how long would that be? How long is that engagement going?
It's been over 5 years.
Ouch.
And
okay.
So the issue has been, part of the issue has been a 30-year-old daughter with drug addiction.
Why does that extend an engagement to 5 years? Her problem.
Well, it seemed like there were a lot of acute episodes in the beginning that demanded a lot of our time and energy and focus.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized after that it was becoming difficult to actually figure out what our issues were and how we need to grow without letting this interfere.
Yeah.
And so what I'm finding difficult today is while she is more absent from our lives, which kind of makes it feel like we're not dealing with it as acutely, but now I feel like it's hard for me to tell when something is bothering him, whether it's just about her or just something just normal in life. I guess so. I'm trying to really get to know us, and it's really frustrating because I think he feels that he will always have a certain degree of sadness in his heart about her situation, and I think he focuses on it silently more than he lets me know.
Is it your daughter or his daughter?
His daughter.
Okay.
And
well, let me just jump in here and just say this, then I'll turn over to you, Alice. But April, if I sat around trying to figure out this whole thing about the theory of relativity, if I spent my time trying to figure that out, I would be dead before I could figure it out. I just don't have it in me to understand all of those things that involve physics and all that. And for you two guys to be trying to figure this out, no wonder 5 years has gone by and you're still engaged. What are you doing other than trying to figure it out yourself?
Well, in the beginning of our relationship, we were going to counseling.
Okay. What happened to that? Why wouldn't you be now?
Well, that's the question that I, don't seem, for some reason, and I don't want to blame it on him, but for some reason, he doesn't feel a need to work this out in his own life. I mean, it's his daughter, it's his life, and I know it affects him greatly. And, but as far as, I think he would be willing to go. But
hold on. April, can I make this really simple for you?
Sure.
He has organized his life around his daughter's addiction, not your relationship, and nothing's changed in 5 years, and that's what you have.
And you already have said that you know that this engagement has gone on too long, and so the big old question comes, why haven't you made the move that you know you need to make?
Yeah, I think I major on the good parts of our relationship, and I believe that those things are valuable to me, but it seems to gnaw at my heart and my gut that these other things feel overwhelming to me still.
I wonder if you're not honoring your warning signals. I think you take your own recovery and your own character work very seriously, and it doesn't sound like he matches up on that, nor is he interested. I hope I'm wrong, but it doesn't sound like he's interested in that deeper inner life work that you want for yourself and for your marriage. But I think you're covering up or turning a blind eye to that part of you that's saying, ooh, is this really what I want?
Yeah.
And you know why you've been engaged for 5 years is because either you or him, neither of you think it's really the right thing to do. Now, on your perspective, if you're the one that's held off on this, well, you know that he's not really someone that you ought to commit to, because you probably also know that once you marry him, little problems grow. They don't get less. Now that we're married, I don't really care what my 30-year-old does until she gets help. Or what? No. Once he resolves the marriage thing, then, boy, the floodgates of problems start come true. If I had heard it differently, I would tell you about that, but I haven't. And I really feel for you. You're so bright and open and willing. But is this really what you want to do for another 5 years? I don't think so.
I came into this thinking that my husband was the cause of many of our issues.
The New Life Intimacy and Marriage Workshop is coming to Washington, D.C., July 23rd to the 25th.
But after learning about our attachment styles, I understood how our past hurts were playing into our present problems.
Join Steve Arterburn.
It's been a dream of mine for a long time to help people to grow more intimately together, and we believe that everybody has room to grow in the intimacy level of their life.
And Mylan and Kay Yurkovich.
We help couples understand how their attachment style is sabotaging their current relationship. And then we teach them how to create comfort in a relationship.
And New Life's group counselors will help you focus on the area that will benefit your marriage most. To register or to find out more, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
Here at this workshop, we had our first ever conversation without yelling, blaming, and accusing.
1-800-NEW-LIFE.
I was really living a very anxiety-filled life. I turned on New Life, and the topic that day was about anxiety. And just by listening, I got relief.
You can help New Life Live stay on the air by joining Club New Life today. When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, we'll send you the new member thank you gift of the 8 books in the Arterburn Wellness series, including Understanding and Loving a Person with Depression and Understanding and Loving a Person with Alcohol and Drug Addiction. Plus, there are ongoing benefits like access to the Club New Life video library, the monthly Club New Life CD or download, quarterly resources, free shipping on purchased resources, and discounts on workshops. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. Support Club New Life, and together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places. Call 1-800-639-5433 to join Club New Life today. We're glad you joined us for New Life Live. To be a part of the program, call 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
We are back and just talking to the nicest person here, April, and we're just all feeling for you here. Alice, you had a couple of things you wanted to say.
Well, April, you started by saying, I've been engaged for a period of time Steve wouldn't approve of. I think you don't approve of it for yourself. And I want that voice strengthened within you, that decisive voice. And so I think the next step is telling a girlfriend about this so you have a little bit of support and morale boost from someone who knows you and loves you. And then going to him with a bold request of, if this relationship means to us what I've thought it does, then we need to get into serious counseling. And I need to know, are you willing, are you interested in deeper character work? I need it and you need it. What are we going to do about this? And if you see a lack of willingness still, then I hope you choose the voice that says, this has gone on for too long.
Well, the other thing is, if you say, I think we can't go forward because of these things, and you're very clear about what it is, it might cause him to wake up and say, I don't want to lose her, and I'm going to do some things differently. But if he doesn't respond that way, then you're having to face the reality of he is totally organized around the 30-year-old addict. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
So I'm going to find a copy somewhere of Henry Cloud's book, Necessary Endings, because that's what I think we're talking about here. But once you develop that strength for the necessary ending, you never know what might happen then. We're pulling for you. We believe in you. We pull for everybody that calls, but we're really pulling for you. And we're really believing in you and hoping that this might result in something really good. It could be painful. Most likely will be, but will be better for your life. Larry Sonnenberg's in the studio. Larry, I want people to do things differently than they're doing that would cause them to call this program. It's just it breaks my heart sometimes. It's so easy to get into a rut. But man, am I ever thankful for those folks that are supporting us and helping us reach people with a different perspective. What do you have for us
Absolutely, Steve. Just a boat full of gratitude is what I've got, just to say thank you to everybody.
Yeah.
But I want to tell you why with a testimony from an Every Man's Battle workshop. And tomorrow at 10 a.m. is the cutoff to go to the Saturday Zoom workshop, guys. So please take heart and give us a call. This gentleman writes, I came to this workshop fearing that I would be faced I'd be faced with religious sources that would focus me on God, Jesus, and Holy Spirit, and not on the issues of porn and addictive behavior. I was pleasantly surprised by the workshop and the tools that it gave me. I feel I gained new ways of thinking about myself, my relationships, and my use of porn, and how it's hurt that relationship. I appreciate the openness of the forum and how it helped me gain perspective and a new way to see the path forward. So guys, you can have the same experience. We come at this with a Christian perspective. So you don't have to be afraid that we're not going to include God in the equation, but neither do you need to be afraid that we're going to just say you got to pray a little harder, we're going to lay hands on you, we're going to cast the demons out. I mean, this is about practical theology that teaches you what the hurt is inside of you, why you've done what you've done, and how to get past it and through it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We assume that every Christian that comes has probably done all that praying and done all that Bible reading, and now it's time to team up with some other folks to get well. And I just want to tell you, the number's 1-800-NEW-LIFE to come be part of Every Man's Battle.
So thank you, everybody who has given. We still need support. It's summertime has started. Things have slowed down some, and we just need you to help us. What happens through this ministry is simply amazing. You make it happen, and so we'll look for you to continue it, please.
Thank you, Larry. 1-800-NEW-LIFE, if you could help us, and we're going to send you a copy of this book, The Soul of a Hero. Dave Stoop and I wrote it, brand new. Hope that you will give, and hope we can give that back to you to say thank you. All right, let's go back to the phones. How about Maria, Alexandria, Virginia, WAVA. Maria, you're on with Chris Williams, Dr. Alice Benton, Steve Arterburn here. How could we help?
Hi, yes. I just have a quick question. On your workshop for Every Man's Battle, would it help somebody that has some narcissist in their mind?
We've never had anybody go to Every Man's Battle that didn't have some narcissism. I mean, it just, but what's going on there that you would ask that question?
We did a little bit of counseling, but then he didn't want to go back. And so it just got to the point where I just had to sit down with him, and I just said, I want a godly marriage. We are not honoring God with the way our marriage is. And he just said, I am not a godly man.
Oh.
And I just, so that's when I just decided I told him that I needed to move along. And we're in that process of a separation.
Oh, it's so sad. So it doesn't seem like a man like that would be willing to go to Every Man's Battle.
I just wanted to make sure.
Maria, does he struggle with pornography or sexually acting out?
I don't know. I mean, I think so. He has not admitted it, but I think there's something there.
Okay, so
definitely there's something
but yeah, let me talk about this, because oftentimes when people are focusing on narcissistic features, they're focusing on the wrong thing. Because, like Steve was saying, there's not a person who struggles with sexual acting out or an addictive process that isn't narcissistic. And what I mean by that is the addiction itself is self-obsessive. it turns a person in on themselves. So that's all they're focusing on is getting myself to feel better where I feel bad all the time, and it puts blinders on to their impact to the relationships around them. And so getting into a healing and recovery process is really, really important in that. And so even if he doesn't, and offering up these things, he's carrying pain inside of him. It sounds like that he's not willing or doesn't have yet the opportunity to look at it. And these workshops provide that. So if he doesn't struggle with sexual acting out, he might, but Emotional Freedom Workshop may be a great place to start.
Here's what I think would be great, and that's for you to say to him, okay, I understand you're saying I'm not a godly man, I've got problems, and then I've said, well, maybe this isn't going to work. Then just say to him, would you just do one last thing for me? Would you come to the marriage intensive with me? Would you do that? And that way we could say we've done everything that we possibly could do. And the strange thing is that workshop is in your backyard. It's in Washington, D.C. next month. And if he would just go to that, I think it would change everything for you guys. And all you're asking him to do is just spend Friday through Sunday with you. And if he would agree to that, I wouldn't be bothering him about anything. I would just be there hoping that we're going to turn things around. I wouldn't suggest this unless we had such remarkable results with this. So many people. That's what they have done. If you're going to leave me, or if I'm going to leave you, or if we're going to divorce, let's at least do this as our last thing. And it's not the last thing. It's the first thing in a whole new relationship.
I would check on his fear also, because I'm not a godly man could mean a lot of different things. And it may be an admission that he knows he's falling short. He may be desperate. He may not know what to do about it. And so asking, I thought about what you said, and I wonder if it scares you that you're not a godly man, because I know something that can help you with that if you want help. And I want help for you. I want help for us. Consider this.
Yeah. Alice, it literally could have been the most honest thing that's come out of his mouth ever. And he doesn't know what to do about it. He's stuck. He's not going to say he's stuck, but he's just saying, look, I'm not that guy. Might be the beginning of something, because he said something that's really true. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back for our final segment here on New Life Live. 1-800-NEW-LIFE if you need some help, or if you can help us. Again, the soul of a hero. 7 secrets to being that godly man you want to be. Really can change everything when you step up for your wife, for your kids, for yourself, and for your God. It's called the soul of a hero. We'll be back.
For most of my life, I've been dealing with an opiate addiction.
Why is opioid addiction quickly becoming one of our nation's biggest killers? Maybe it's because it isn't only those who are addicted who are in denial.
We did what I see so many parents do, is it can't be an addiction. There's something medically wrong.
It's impossible to solve a problem when you don't know what you're up against, and families will try to find any explanation except the one that will put them on the right path.
Alcoholism and drug addiction is a family disease. It doesn't affect just the individual.
If someone you love is abusing painkillers, know what you're up against. It's time to admit its addiction and seek treatment. Call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. We have partner treatment centers around the country. Call 1-800-639-5433 or visit us online at newlife.com.
We just made a decision. We will do whatever it takes.
1-800-NEW-LIFE.
Hi, this is Steve Arterburn, and for 30 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
I'm an addict, and I'm trying to get God in my life again. You seem to be able to get to the crux of a problem quickly.
Our Christ-centered treatment programs can help you break free to embrace all that God has for you and your family.
I just want to thank you guys for bringing me to a relationship with Jesus.
There really is help for marital problems, depression, addictions, panic attacks, and feelings of hopelessness.
I came back with so many tools to help me prepare myself to fight this struggle and this battle that I have every day.
You can start living again today, living the life God intended for you. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
They did care, and they did follow up very lovingly, and it made all the difference in my life.
Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Someone who cares is waiting at the other end of the phone. God can open the door to a better tomorrow right now. Just call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. 1-800-639-5433.
To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
We're back. I'm going to go to Michael here from Wells, Maine, W-E-Z-E. Hi, Michael. How are you today?
Hey, good. Doing good. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
Just briefly, I want to make a comment on a caller that called last week about confessing to his wife a sexual sin on his bachelor party night, and it's been haunting him for 30 years. Okay?
Yeah.
My circumstances are much, much different, though I did confess my sin of adultery after 31 years, and I've been forgiven, shown mercy, though that wasn't the case in the beginning. But all I want to say is, if this gentleman does confess that sin, because I know exactly how he feels and what he's going through, I would just like for him, if he's listening, or anybody else, what to expect. And that would be definitely counseling, definitely writing a note of forgiveness, definitely rebuilding trust, and definitely possibly maybe having to confess to his children, if he has children, or maybe even his family. Because it's not like one of these bubbles that float around in the air that once you confess the sin, it just pops and goes away.
Yeah.
No. Not only does the hurt stay with you for 31, 32, 33 years, it compounds when you confess it, because there's so much more that's going to happen. So that's my comment about that.
But the ultimate result was the ultimate result for you was really good, right? It ultimately was opened up some windows and doors.
My wife, right. I confessed first to the woman's husband. I confessed first to him, and then I confessed to my wife. Though the woman sent my wife a text message. But anyways, it's pretty detailed.
Yeah.
But her husband forgave me. My wife insisted on justice and filed for divorce. But at the end of the day, she showed mercy and forgiveness to both me and the woman.
Oh, okay.
But still, it's 2 years later. A day hasn't gone by. I don't think about it. So,
I'm glad you did the right thing, though. I mean, really, it's tough. It's always tough, and I appreciate you sharing that. And every situation is very different. Let me send you a copy of Every Man's Bible, just because you wanted to call and make that comment. I'll thank you for it. Deb, Branson, Missouri, is listening on Sirius XM. Deb, you're our final caller today. Sorry I can't get to everybody. How you doing, and what's on your mind?
Well, hello, and thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure.
First of all, I don't know if you remember, but it's probably been a good 2 years ago. I called, and I was the caller that had to end the phone call because of a police officer pulling me over for speeding.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Did you pay the ticket?
I did.
Okay,
yes,
good.
I did pay the ticket. That's too funny. I love it.
Oh, good.
So anyway, the previous show, there was a female caller that came on, struggling with the idea of whether to get back into the dating situation or not again, and she said she was 60. So I'm going to turn 65 this year. My call 2 years ago was in the midst of a marriage that was just crumbling due to an unknown sexual addiction that had, just exploded. And when I say unknown, I hate using the term narcissism, but one counselor had pointed out to me, you're dealing with covert narcissism. That's why it was so hard to detect.
Okay.
And, so when you've dealt with a significant degree of deceit. I mean, like, secret agent type deceit and hiding. And so now I'm divorced. I'm about a year and a half post that. I'm a strong Christian. I'm actually a chaplain for jail ministry. I've done that for 6 years.
Awesome.
And we were both involved in quite a few different ministries, both as a couple and then individually, when the sexual addiction exploded in my marriage due to an adulterous affair. So what's my question?
What's the question or what's the insight you want to share with us? Yeah.
Well, I like, as the previous show, you were talking to a woman considering getting back into, the dating realm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really wrestling with that. I mean, it's heavy load having been so deceitfully duped, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, and then we had this other caller to say, hey, remind people that not every man is into pornography, and which is true. We just have to take our time, and it is a risk. And I've said many times that one of the most healing choices for people is to be able to make the choice to risk again, because a lot of folks that have been hurt, you get committed to protecting yourself, and kind of protection, sameness, predictability become your God, and then you miss out on some opportunities. Of course, then the other side of that is moving way too quickly and with all reckless abandon, and that's not good either. But when you have healthy, good, solid female relationships, that there is the chance for you to move forward, risk, but you've got folks to tell you, hey, I think this is a good thing for you. Alice, anything you want to add to this for her?
I'd have you, Deb, set up a team where you have structured check-ins with women who are willing to be a voice, willing to get to know some of the guys that you date, and willing to speak into it. People that you would listen to, because there is no guarantee that you won't be tricked again, but there is such a better likelihood of making a wiser choice when you're doing it with the counsel of people that you trust and who know you well.
Yeah, that's right.
And Deb, I'm going to give you 3 quick attributes that I want you to be looking for. The first one is self-awareness. The person is really aware of themselves, who they are, who they're not, their strengths or weaknesses, and that says that they've done work with themselves. Then humility is the second one, and that is they can talk about it. They can talk about themselves, they can admit their problems, admit their struggles, also their strengths and the good parts, the godly parts about them. And then the last thing is a desire for growth, is that a person desires to grow personally, relationally, and spiritually in their lives. Those 3 attributes I see more than anything else lead to long-term relational health.
Thank you, Chris. I love that. And let me send you a copy of The Soul of a Hero, because it's going to show you what the man of your dreams is like. And you know what? Many times the man of our dreams is a fantasy man that never exists. But when we come to find a good, solid Christian man, maybe it's not exciting and thrilling like some of the other folks, but maybe it's just the most amazing, growing relationship that you could possibly have, because they're dependable. One of the things my wife says about me that I love is she says, "You're my post." Well, a lot of people don't want to be called a stump or a post, but it's saying she knows I want to be there. And that's what we want to be as men. Of course, we want to have a brain and a post, but anyway, it's a good sentiment for something that's strong and solid. That's what we want to be. Well, thank you, Chris, and thank you, Dr. Alice Benton, for being here, and thanks all of you who support us and watch us, listen to us. Really grateful for that. A gift of any amount, I send you The Soul of a Hero. If you join Club New Life, $30 a month, we send you the Arterburn Wellness Series, 8 books on understanding and loving a person with a problem like narcissistic personality disorder, or borderline, or bipolar, or attention deficit disorder. If you need some help, it's 1-800-NEW-LIFE. We're going to be here. We want to help you. Please call us, 1-800-NEW-LIFE. See you next time.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, But you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433, or write to us at New Life Ministries, P.O. Box 1029, Lake Forest, California, 92609. Please join us again tomorrow for New Life Live.
Hi, thank you for watching New Life Live. You know, New Life Live is a Christian counseling program where we deal with the hard questions about life, relationships, kids, free choice, freedom of will, whatever. It's all right there on New Life Live every day, every weekday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. If you want to call into the live broadcast, you can find the schedule on newlife.com or click the social media link right below. You can see every episode of New Life Live on the New Life YouTube channel. Watch it with a friend, watch it later. Be sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you'll never miss another episode. So if you want to listen on the go, download the app. The link is right below. And I hope if you need some information, if you want to get some help, you'll call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. And I'll see you next time.